It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. I've been to the Asda World Food aisle again, and it's proven to be a bit of a kind of mystery aisle because there's so much going on. So much going on. I first reviewed Dragon Stout, I think 8 or 9 years ago. I'm kind of revisiting the beer. Haven't had it since I bought it in a bottle shop in Cardiff. But to think that in the space of 10 years, one moment you kind of like go into a small bottle shop to buy a kind of Jamaican stout, and then it just shows you how far the beer movement, the craft beer movement, the decent beer movement has come along, where you can now wander up your Asda kind of world food aisle and you can come across bottles of Dragon Stout, original Jamaican Dragon Stout. This is 284 millilitres. It's 7.5% ABV. They've been brewing this beer in Jamaica since 1920. Isn't that amazing? Absolutely amazing. Yeah, since 1920, down the bottom there. So you've got there's the bottle cap, a red bottle cap with the Dragon Stout on it. I don't know the brewery, I don't know. We'll have a look in a moment. But I want to get it out into a glass and see what we get. Right, so in the Asda World Food aisle, I think this was only about £2. Something like £2 for a bottle, which is pretty remarkable, isn't it? I've always loved the World Food aisle, from peculiar noodles to slightly peculiar Indian snacks to Lithuanian lagers and vice beers to Jamaican stouts. It literally is. You go down there and there's a world of wonder at your feet. Take a wander down. You need to go to a big Asda. Find yourself one of those kind of, about 7 years ago, they started to call them Walmarts. Walmart Asda, the big giant blooming things. Go in one of those and they always have a world food aisle. Wander down. You've got to take your time. Don't go rushing down the world food aisle doing this. Oh, there's nothing there. You need to really kind of creep up. Just have a look at everything, and all of a sudden things start to pop up. Things start to kind of like, oh, what's that down there? There's a bottle of Jamaican Dragon Stout. This was on the bottom shelf. This was like, take 2 steps in the aisle and you've missed it. You completely missed it. You've got to take your time. So beer in the glass. Look at that, rocking the beer back and forth. You can see that carbonation chasing the head of the glass. It's a lovely tan coloured head on the beer, jet black in the glass. It looks absolutely fantastic, it really does. So I don't really know the influence of this beer. I don't know kind of like the history as to why in Jamaica they have a very famous kind of imperial stout almost at 7.5% ABV. If you're a beer drinker, if you know your beer, you will know Dragon. But it must be a really peculiar story to kind of like how the beer came about. Let's get the aroma then. There's no light bleeding through the glass whatsoever. It smells fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I didn't know what to expect because I haven't had this beer for so long. But there's a little bit of molasses coming through. It's a little plum-like and fig-like dark fruit aromas coming through on the beer. It smells great. A little bit of roasted malt. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Wow. Wow. Delightful. That is delightful. That is fantastic beer. Smooth. Hint balance of this beer. This beer is rich and creamy. It's not out of balance in any way. It's not overly sweet. It's not overly bitter. It's like a tightrope walker. Going along, you're going to fall. Beautiful, beautiful beer. Again, I need to know the story. British colonies, maybe setting up shop in places like Jamaican, kind of that sort of thing. But to be honest with you, that's not my... That's what happened in strong stouts. It might be that, but I think there must have been an influence somewhere. There must have been a brewer, maybe from Europe, maybe from the UK, they made their way to Jamaica, set up a brewery, and started making like fantastic stouts. And then all of a sudden you got the locals. Maybe it was the influence of Guinness. We already know that kind of Guinness is in kind of Nigeria and the kind of far out places in the world. In stout, which is kind of like foreign extra. In fact, it's the same ABV. It's the same ABV as foreign extra stout. So maybe, just maybe, it's the influence of Guinness that has made its way around the world. Maybe somebody from Jamaica, made their way to the UK or Ireland, tried some Guinness foreign extra stout, and were like, whoa, this is great. Went home and opened it. We'll never know. Look at the lacing on the glass. Look at that lovely tan coloured head all over that glass. Look at the carbonation chasing the head of the glass. That is a beautiful, appreciating the beer a little bit more now than when I was a younger man. That is fabulous. Water, malted barley, sugar, glucose syrup, colour, anomia, caramel, hop extract. Okay, so there's some glucose syrups, there's some caramels in there. It is slightly sweet, but they've nailed it. They've absolutely nailed it. It's really good. I'd love to know who makes this. Oh, it looks like it's Red Stripe. Of course, Red Stripe, you all know Red Stripe lager, that's a Jamaican lager. It's Red Stripe that make this. Right. Makes sense now, don't it? Makes complete sense. My rating for Dragon Stout, even though it's got glucose and caramel, I think that is blooming great. That is, but for £2 a bottle, that's fantastic. It's a Stone the Crows 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.